Thank you so much for joining me today for the latest update on what is going on between Thailand and Cambodia. More of the same, but there are some new updates. Primarily last night, on the evening of the 11th, today's the 12th of December 2025. So last night, the Thai Prime Minister Anutin abolished the parliament. And so there is no government in Thailand right now. It's under military control. He said on, I believe, a Facebook post that he's handing the power back to the people because now they get to vote for a new government, right? But that's not going to be for a couple of months. What he really did was hand over control of the country to the military. And now there can be no negotiations, he's still the prime minister. He didn't resign as prime minister, but he has no power. He can't do anything. The parliament can't do anything. What was the parliament going to do? They were going to vote no confidence. So he abolished the parliament before they had a chance to vote no confidence for him. So that's huge. So now the military has already been doing whatever it wants since I brought out in June of last year when a military commander flat out said, we don't care what the government tells us to do. We're going to do what we think we need to do and what we want to do. They said that back in June. Okay. So that hasn't changed. The government went and did a ceasefire agreement in Malaysia with, the help of Donald Trump and America, and China was there, and of course Malaysia mediated this ceasefire agreement. Why should they care? They're not going to do whatever. If the government can say and enter any deals that it wants to do, they don't care. In fact, as I pointed out yesterday, they already have their planned operations, and they're going to carry them out. And what do they want to do? Destroy Cambodia. Destroy Cambodia's military. Let me clarify that. That's what they actually said. They want to destroy Cambodia's military so it can never do this again. Okay? Why now? This is a centuries-old I don't want to say conflict or dispute, because the border dispute is only like 1 century old. But the deep-rooted feelings between the two cultures is centuries old. Okay? But why is it flaring up now? Well, I'll tell you what I think. Is because Cambodia's economy is booming. Everyone throughout Asia and even European countries, they all want to get a foothold in Cambodia. They're investing, they're opening businesses, they're opening factories. Are there scam centers? Yeah, those are primarily Chinese. There's some Vietnamese scam centers as well. But you know what? Cambodia is cracking down on a lot of them. Okay, are some of them paying some kind of kickbacks to somebody to be ignored? Maybe. All right, I'm not going to say they're not, but they are. The government is cracking down. It's almost every day in the news that another call center is being raided, and people are being set free from the slavery that they're in these call centers. Okay, so it's not like they're doing nothing. They are being very active with the call centers. Because they know, Cambodia knows that in order to keep their economic growth, which is one of the highest in Asia, not just Southeast Asia, but in Asia, it was projected to be like between 6 to 8% growth, which was like the highest. And it's been 4% growth, which is still high. So everybody's trying to come and make deals and invest in Cambodia, and they are. And what's happening in Thailand? They're cutting back on their visas. It's harder to get a visa. It's not the place it used to be. Infrastructure's getting old. They don't have anything booming right now. They're declining. And, I think they're a little bit jealous that there's so much positive economic attention on Cambodia. They want it. They want it for themselves. They think that if they get rid of Cambodia as a threat to their economy, especially with the new airport, I don't think people realize, oh, okay, they got a new airport. No. It's important because it's transitioning Cambodia to be a regional hub, which Bangkok has held forever. I mean, when I started coming here in 2000, I moved here in 2007. When I came in 2006 to visit, I flew into Bangkok. But once I discovered Cambodia, I'm like, why would I want to go through Bangkok? There's plenty of flights that go into Phnom Penh. I knew this, but the rest of the world didn't know this, right? So everybody always has their mindset on flying to Bangkok. And drove me crazy, actually, at the time. And so it's really, it's threatening their tourism. It's threatening their their own economic growth, which is indicate anyway. They have their own scam centers. Why are they gaslighting Cambodia about scam centers and saying, oh, well, we bombed that casino because it's really a scam call center? They have scam centers too. On the borders with Cambodia, on the borders with Myanmar. Myanmar's bombing, Myanmar is bombing Thailand. Why aren't they fighting back to Myanmar? They're saying Cambodia fired the first shots, that Cambodia planted landmines. But what about Myanmar is really firing and attacking? But they're not going to the north and the west to fight Myanmar. No, they got blinders on. They're so focused. They've got a plan. They've got planned operations. And they want to attack Cambodia. They want to put Cambodia in its place. You know how many expats here in Cambodia were tourists in Thailand up until now? They're always being told by Thais, don't go to Cambodia. It's dangerous. It's a bad place. Don't go to Cambodia. And I think they really believe it because that's what they've been told. They haven't been over to Cambodia to see if it's really this dangerous place. They've been told that it's a dangerous place. So they want to help the tourists and the expats that are in Thailand and tell them, don't go there. They want to keep the money there in Thailand. Don't go to Cambodia. That's what they've been saying. And then these expats and tourists, they come to Cambodia and they're going, it's great. I don't know what they're talking about. Why were they trying to warn me not to go to Cambodia? It's great here. And it is. It's an up and coming, vibrant country all around. Whether you're in Siem Reap or Phnom Penh, I don't like Sihanoukville. Forget Sihanoukville. But throughout the country, even in the agricultural areas, which is most of the country is agricultural. If you think of a 17 million population of Cambodia, 2 to 3 million live in Phnom Penh. The next largest city is Battambang. I think that's another million. Maybe let's say there's 1 million in Siem Reap. That's only 4 to 5 million. The other 10 to 11 million people live in the countryside and in rural and agricultural areas. But even that is getting more modernized so that they have better farming techniques. They have markets to sell their food. I mean, we're becoming a nation of exporting, you know. So when Thailand says, well, we're not going to sell you any more of our products, Cambodia is like, okay. Cambodia is very self-sufficient. And if Thailand doesn't want to sell clothes and plastic chairs and whatever, well, we're going to get it from Vietnam or Malaysia or China or Japan. We have a lot of European products too, American products. Trade with America has increased dramatically in the last few years. There's a lot of new franchises, a lot of companies from America investing in Cambodia that weren't before. So that's really increased. But back to the situation with the border conflict. Why now? Yeah, I think it had. The other thing we have to look at with Thailand and as this piece, as another piece of this puzzle, when we're trying to figure out exactly why is Thailand attacking Cambodia. Economic growth is one, but also their international reputation and image has been tarnished this year. They've suffered so many setbacks, starting like with the Miss Universe fiasco, scandal, where the guy that was in charge was dissing all the girls, right? And being very controlling and just being abusive. So that was a big scandal. Then you had the SEA Games, which are just finishing now. They've been this past week or 10 days, however long it is. And there have been outcries throughout the international community because, again, Miss Universe, many different countries, all there represented. SEA Games, well, all the Southeast Asian nations are there represented, and the athletes and everything. And everybody's saying how mismanaged the SEA Games were for this reason or that reason. So a lot of tarnish with that. A lot of tarnish with the flooding. They've had some very severe flooding in the southern areas of the country that they haven't been very good with their response to the victims of the floods. Rescuing victims, providing aid to victims, helping people recover, whatever. Their response has not been good. So they're trying to take the attention away from all these bad things that have been happening. And not to mention they changed their visa laws, and so a lot of people are looking for someplace else to go and leave Thailand. Okay, so they're losing tourism. Tourism took a huge hit this year in Thailand. So let's put the focus on Cambodia. Let's tell the international community that Cambodia fired the first shot. They planted new landmines. And we're just defending ourselves. And we're just taking back what was ours. What's rightfully ours. We don't care that the ICC or IJC or whatever, all these international United Nations, we don't care what anybody else is trying to say and what map that we're supposed to use. This is ours. And it's time for us to get it back. And they've had a plan. They've had planned operations. See my previous video if you need to see the original quote that Anutin said, Prime Minister of Thailand. They have planned operations. But I don't think it's going to go the way they want. Because when you've got an ancient temple that UNESCO recognizes, and you start bombing it, and you say, well, there were soldiers in the temple. All right, there's other ways to get people out of the temples. You don't have to bomb the temple as part of your military attack. But that's what they chose to do. And that's what they continue to do. And when their F-16s fly over and drop bombs, and they say, oh, well, we're only targeting military operations, and if it looks like a civilian house that we're bombing, that's because they were using it, the military was using that house for their operations. And that's the only reason we targeted it. Well, I don't know how good their intel is, but I've got some pictures to show you in just a minute of an area that was bombed. And I'm like looking, where's the tanks? Where's the rocket launchers? Where's the machine guns? Where's any sign at all of the military in this bombed area? Meanwhile, people are dying, people are displaced. And we'll talk about that too, because it's affecting a lot of Cambodians and Thais. And what does that look like? What are their lives like because of this conflict? All right. So let's get to that. First up, I'm going to show you the latest updates, official updates, December 12th, from the Ministry of National Defense. This, of course, is a picture from yesterday when Cambodia took back territory at a checkpoint that Thailand had put up a flag, and they took it down and put up Cambodia's flag. So they said that between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. today, there have been drone strikes, shelling, and the use of toxic gas in several villages within Military Region 5, which I believe is the north, like the Priyavahir and the Odar Menche, maybe parts of Bante Menche. I believe that's Military Region 4. They don't actually list the any specific provinces in another story I'm going to tell you about. No, in this one, yeah, because it keeps talking about Prey-Chan village in the Opluk Lamrai area, but they don't say what province it is. I'm really, really concerned about the toxic gas. So they said at 8:30 a.m. is when tanks came into the village. Then they were flying drones at 9, 10, 12. And then at 11:58 a.m., they were deploying bomb-equipped drones. Well, at 10:30 and at 11:58 at noon. But yeah, as it says here, in one of the most serious developments, I don't think that's hyperbole or propaganda. I think this is true. It's very serious. Dropping toxic gas at 11:30 a.m. and at 12:13 a.m. All right. We know from experience when America dropped Agent Orange on Vietnam that it doesn't just go away. It's there for years and sometimes decades. The poisons. It poisons the land. It poisons the animals. It poisons the water and the water reservoirs in the ground. So then the wells and irrigation and everything, farming for food, animals raised for food, wild animals. What does Thailand, what do they think when they're dropping this toxic gas? That they're only going to kill soldiers? I mean, toxic gas should be outlawed in the world just as much as landmines are outlawed. I don't even know why they're still being manufactured. It's ridiculous. But anyway, then shelling resumed, artillery. So the fighting is continuing. Now, I'm going to give you an update on people. 11, it's confirmed, 11 people have died. 76 are injured. This is the Cambodian side only. And 270,000 refugees. All right. And then there's details if you want to know exactly which provinces and how many people in each province. The provinces now include Priyavahir, Odar Menche, Bante Menche, Battambang, Pursat, Kokong, and Siem Reap province have displaced people. You can go to Khmer Times or some other news source if you want. You know, it's a press release. It's a press release from the Ministry of Interior that is giving these numbers. All right, and this was. It says from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. on December 12th. So as of 7 a.m. on December 12th, these are the numbers. Now, to be fair, Thailand has had 9, they're reporting 9 soldiers are killed. That nearly 200,000 Thai civilians have been displaced. So that means almost 500,000 people between Thailand and Cambodia on both sides, the civilians, 500,000 people are being affected. They have left their homes, and many people have left their animals, or they've left an elderly person to take care of the animals, you know, while the rest of the family flees. Or maybe some uncle. Or they've just had to abandon them and hope that they're going to be back in a couple of days. Who's feeding these animals? Who's giving them water? You know, this is affecting people, you know, civilians on both sides. Next up, I want to share with, whoops. That one. There we go. Now Cambodia is reporting that they have arrested a Thai spy. Okay, is that true? Is this guy a spy? I don't know, but they're reporting that it is. What's this, 52 GMS or something? Is that an actual tattoo? Is that part of some kind of gang thing or something? I don't know. He was arrested yesterday at 12:40 p.m. in the afternoon. I mean, maybe he's a migrant worker who was trying to get over the border. Or maybe he's a spy. They believe that he was collecting information to send to the Thai military. It was in Bante Menche province where they caught him. So there's that. That's new. Over 900 schools in 6 provinces are temporarily closed. So, I mean, I want to share some of the impact that is happening with people. This is just on the Cambodian side. How many schools are closed in Thailand? It's affecting the education of children. Next up, amazingly, Poi Phet, which is the main border crossing between Thailand and Cambodia, there's about 12, I think, like border checkpoints that people can cross, but not like international visa, passport, visa stuff. There's only 2 or 3. Poi Phet businesses remain open. So that's pretty interesting. Probably not as crowded as it normally would be. But I find that amazing. that all these people are evacuating, but Poi Pet is staying open for whatever that's worth. Next up, I promised you some shattered homes. Where's the tanks? Where's the machine guns? Where's the if Thailand targeted this tract of homes for, you know, because they believed that there were military operations here, and if they did their job and they bombed it to get rid of the military, you know, military operations, where is it? Where's the military operation? Where's evidence that there was any kind of military activity here? Where's the sandbags? Like we could see in the temple, the sandbags. No sandbags here. No machine guns. No artillery. So, why are they bombing it? Not a single bit of evidence anywhere in any of these photos of any military. Now, as we're talking about people, all these you see all these displaced people, these refugees that are living in tents. I showed you that yesterday. They're living on tarps and mats and under tents. And now, this weekend, 16 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is. Maybe the 60s Fahrenheit. But you know what? For Cambodia, when it gets below 18 degrees Celsius, the government issues warnings to protect the elderly and protect the young, because they could die from the cold. And it's getting down, so it's going to be 16 degrees Celsius. And these people had to flee. Did they have a coat? Did they have blankets? They couldn't move their whole house. They could only take a bag or two of things with them. So this is not good for all these refugees. Now, I want to show you a video that my family shared with me. They said that that Cambodians are really sad about this. Oops, let me see if that. Oh, okay, wait. Wait. Give me a second. I gotta see where's the video. Oh, the video's here. Okay. We don't have to go to Facebook. Huh. Sorry, I can't do it with the sound, because if I turn the sound on, let me see if I can, oops, make this bigger. Look at this little old lady. She's got a little shelter. She's not leaving. She can't evacuate for whatever reason. So she's staying there in her home along the border. She's got herself a little shelter. She can't even stand up straight because of her back. She's deaf. So if they start bombing, she can't hear the bombs. Now, what I hear, you can feel the vibration if there's bombs. But is she going to have time to get into the shelter? Look how slow she has to walk. She can't even stand up straight. And Cambodians are asking that we share this information, that we think about the little granny. Trying to stop it. I don't think I can pause it. Oh, was it playing for you? Okay, yeah. There you go. There's Granny. When you're thinking about this border conflict and the fighting and the soldiers, don't forget about Granny. Yay. There are people left behind on the border. I pray that she does not become a casualty. She's 90 years old. She was a child old enough to remember the Japanese occupation, which is when a lot of these problems came up, because Thailand made a deal with Japan to take areas of Cambodia. But then when Japan lost, Thailand had to give it back to Cambodia. And they weren't happy about that. She's a World War II. She survived the Khmer Rouge. She survived all the Civil War fighting. She survived Lon Nol times. This lady's a survivor. I hope she continues to survive. She should be living in peace right now at the end of her days. She shouldn't have to be suffering because of this border conflict. I am going to share with you guys one more thing. Let me come back over here. This is a music video put out by Oksokun Kanya. She was a really popular singer in my early days here in Cambodia. Haven't heard so much about her, but she's, definitely celebrity status in Cambodia. There's a Khmer version of this song, but this is the English version. She actually sings it in English too. So I'm going to leave you with this. And if there's any more updates, I'll share with you tomorrow. Otherwise, maybe just on Monday. I'll be back on Monday and share what happened over the weekend. So here you go.
Trying to remember how was the life that we used to be. The place used to be crowned, now everyone disappears. Children used to play, laugh and sing. The school bell ring and we used to hear. Now they are gone, the fright, it's cold words everywhere. Can you hear the sound of pain? Can you see and tell me why people are losing the hope? Did you hear that baby cry? Can you hear the sound of pain? People praying to the sky, hoping war will come to end, hoping you can hear them cry. kids used to play. Dream turned to dust in the middle of the day. Words blown away where the love used to live. Word doesn't spare, it just takes, never give. Word got the sky turning red like it's bleeding. Mothers lose son, day and even then raising. Tears turn to mud, every promise is fake. We just want a piece, why did you turn your bird like a snake? All the sins that you made, all the news that you fake, all the lies that you tweet, the life that you took, family that you break. We will never back down, we will stand on our ground. We fight for our peace with our nation's sound. Cambodia need peace, we need word to cease, need the violence to decrease. That's all we want and the world needs to hear this. Hearing our voice, that Cambodia need peace.
All right. Don't forget the people. And I want to remind you that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you're watching this, I love you. I don't care what country you're from. If you're Cambodian or Thailand or from any other country in the world, if you're a human being, I still love you. I hope for peace. Sound appeal. Okay. Until next time, I'll catch you later.